let's get started, Kirstie. So I'm joined by Kirstie Pilatti, who is the Chief Product Officer of Voly Group. She's the one making everything happening on the technical side, and we're going to present the project module for Voly Yachting, along with some new developments in Pinpoint Works to improve project reporting. So with over 600 yachts using Pinpoint Works to track day-to-day tasks that evolve into work lists for shipyard projects, Pinpoint is the best tool on the market for location-based tracking, using the GA, creating progress reports, and an auditable history of all communication on board. It's simple to use, which is why it's become the go-to tool for such a large number of yachts. Now, Voly Group, led by Ian Flanagan, acquired Pinpoint Works in February of 2023 with the vision to join the Worklist platform to Voly Yachting's financial management platform to solve a key financial reporting problem in the market. A seamless transition from Worklist to payments, reducing the risk of financial errors to continued use of Excel spreadsheets, and to save valuable time for all stakeholders involved. After the recent Voly Group acquisition of Voyanic Crew Services for payroll, which will now become Voly Crew Solutions, Ian and the group will be laser focused on creating the industry's first ERP. One login, one dashboard, one source of truth for all your yacht management needs. So the vision is clear, and the integration is the first step in showing you all that execution matches the vision.
Great intro, Stu. Thanks.
Thank you very much. It is an exciting stage that we're all in at the moment. So what I'll do is show you a quick look at how the process starts in Pinpoint Works, and then Kirstie's going to bring us in with the Voly Projects module. So initially, as most of you will have seen, we've got the work list. Traditionally started from departments adding their own work lists, and then those jobs or points are copied into an official project's work list. So that could be the yard work, it could be the refit. From here, by copying that information, you're reducing the amount of duplication, because we know that at the top level, heads of department, captains are duplicating the work a lot of the time, and this is going to streamline that as well. From here, we can have technical managers to access all of the information on the site to enable that smooth communication all the way through. From here, you can export any number of points. So once you've got the information in, it's very easy to export. We can export to PDF. This is now the standard for refit. For showing those work lists, we've got the location on the GA, we've got the photos already formatted. So that in itself is a huge benefit and time saver for crew, for management, and also allows the shipyards to accurately quote. Without that visual, sometimes with the translation issues, the locations on the boat, this has enabled that clear communication to be transferred in between all parties. Once you come back to the work list and manage the project, you can go into a point and you will see the full point card of the points that you need to see, but you can also comment. So this is where junior crew can add photos, add comments if the contractors have been on board, if there is a decision being made, and that will create an audit trail in the point card that is completely transparent. And that's what we want. With the transparency breeds trust, and then from here, the project can move along a lot faster and smoother. Kirstie, I will hand it over to you to show us from where we are now to where we're going to be in Voly Projects. So sharing over to you.
Thanks, Stu. Well, look, one of the things that we've always done with Voly is really trying to understand the pain points of our clients and building systems and processes that really address those. So what were the pain points that we have been looking at? Well, generally we find that there is a lot of manual data entry when it comes to managing projects, whether that is the work list themselves, managing across Pinpoint Works or spreadsheets, or even some of the shipyard systems that are out there. And also from an invoicing perspective, you're having to enter your invoices into whatever financial management platform you're using, whether that's Voly or something else, but then also having to take all of that information and load it into spreadsheets or Pinpoint Works. So spreadsheets, what do they equal? Well, we know that they equal inaccuracies, there's problems with version control, and the most important thing is you're not getting that project view in real time. So you have to wait for somebody else to update it, often multiple people to update it, and you never really know where you're up to versus what's actually happening within that project. Visibility is a huge issue as well. Pinpoint and Voly were both designed so that everybody is logging into the same platform, everybody has access to the same information. So whether that's the accountants managing the finances, the technical teams, or a mixture of the both, as well as the crew, of course, who need to be able to have visibility. That was something that was really missing from these projects too. And then we move into the shipyard invoices. One of the things that we were asked to address on multiple different ways and multiple occasions is how do we make shipyard invoices less time consuming to enter into the financial platform? So in Voly, we've got the ability to break down those shipyard invoices into the right categories, even down into the right jobs. So we've started to look at tools to make that easier for you as well. Also, every single project is bespoke, and we know that, and we wanted to give you the freedom to be able to create these reports in any way that works for you. So what have we built? Well, we've started off by building an integration between Voly and Pinpoint Works, as Stu says. So you've got the two platforms, and you've now got the ability to share information across the two. So data protection being at the heart of absolutely everything we do, it's very heavily permission-based, and only the right people can actually activate these integrations and share the information. So if you have the right permissions, you need to be an account administrator on Pinpoint. You can go into your sites, you can go into your site settings, and you will see that you've got a new integrations area. If you don't see this, then please contact your account manager and they will make sure that that's all set up for you. All you have to do is simply go in and authorize this connection. Once that connection has been authorized, it's going to stay open for 7 days, and then the people on the Voly side with the right permissions can go in and they can connect those accounts. So again, we're going to have a brand new area of Voly. You're going to see your project settings within here, and you are then going to be able to go in and add a project and log into your Pinpoint Works account. Once you log in, any sites that you have been given access to and have been authorized for a connection are now going to appear in that drop down. So you can see I've got this work list one that I've just created, and I can simply go and add that project. At this point, you're now going to see all of your connected sites and your disconnected ones, if any of them are finished and you've closed them out, and you can see who connected them and when. Once connected, anybody with access to the projects module, again, this is permission-led, you can decide who has access and who doesn't, is going to be able to go into this new projects tab in the navigation bar, and you can select the project that you want to see. So you can manage multiple sites in here, multiple projects, and you simply go in and select. That will then load up all of the information that you see in Pinpoint Works. You're going to see every single custom field, all of your tags, when it was created, statuses, all of that information is there and visible. So no longer are you having to log into 2 different platforms to be able to get a full picture of what's going on there. So within Pinpoint Works, once we've got those sites connected, if I just give this, oh, it's just kicked me out, bear with me just a second. Once we've got those sites connected, you can see you've got various different Voly custom fields that you can now add into your Pinpoint Works site. So we've got our invoice, net, VAT, and total, depending on whether or not you want to track VAT or not. And you can also add your Voly categories and your Voly cost centers. So it means that when you're creating points, you can allocate it already to a cost center or an expenditure category. And the reason that this is really beneficial is because that information is then going to be used to pre-populate the Voly invoice lines. So if we just go back to our sites and we take a look at one of the ones where we've got some information filled in here, and you can see we have pre-populated here all of our Voly expenditure categories, cost centers, and we've even got some invoice values that have already pulled through. So if we go over to our Voly site and we're looking in our projects here, and we now want to generate our invoices based on the information that we've got in here, let's assume we've received that invoice from the shipyard, and we can just simply go in and we can tag these jobs that we want to add to the invoices. And you can see here I've got 5 jobs selected, and I'm just going to go add invoice. And all of this information has been pre-filled for you. So all you've now got to do is fill in your supplier information, add in your values, and save that invoice. And that is immediately then going to be pulled through into Pinpoint Works. Let's just add a quick invoice. Bear with me. Love these demos. And we're going to save our invoice on there. So that invoice has now been saved, and that information is now being pushed through into Pinpoint Works with all of the relevant values in there. So if we go back to our projects page, you can see in our overview, we've now got all of the invoice values, as well as all of the costs and quotations and information that's being pulled through from Pinpoint. You should recognize this overview table. It's very similar to the one that you see in Pinpoint, and it's got a lot of the tools that we have across on the Pinpoint Works site too. So you can show or hide columns. You can move things around based on how you want to see them in your spreadsheet exports. You can group by certain things. For example, if you want to group by status, and you can filter as well. At this point, once you've created the desired report, again, everybody's different. Everyone has a different bespoke output. Then you can download that in Excel. You can also do the same in Pinpoint Works. As you know, you've got all of these same tools here in Pinpoint Works. If we just refresh this, you can see it's also pulled in all of our Voly figures here from our invoices. The addition with Pinpoint Works is you've also got your saved views. So if you want to create your bespoke report, you can then save that view down, and you can also share it with other users who are making use of the platform, and you can export those too. Stu, do we want to cover off anything on the fleet side?
Yep, just well, quickly looking at the chat, there's a few people saying game changer, which is always fantastic, but this is just the second or third iteration. So what you're seeing now is working as you would hope it would work, and then it's only going to get better with more reporting, etc. So maybe that's something you can go into now, Kirstie, on summarizing that.
Absolutely. So key benefits to the project module at the moment, we're giving you better visibility of financial information, as well as the actual job statuses and the project statuses, real-time reporting, giving you instant access to your costs, to your budgets, and being able to see straight away if costs are escalating, and also where they are within the platform, not only just using things like the red flag function in Pinpoint Works, but also having live visibility of where those costs are against budget. Time savings in terms of data entry, hopefully using some of the tools that we've got in place means that you're not having to create manual reports. When you're entering invoices, you've got lots of information being pre-filled, and generally just better reporting tools across the platforms. No more spreadsheets. That's what we're aiming for. We're working towards a life of no spreadsheets. As Stu said, this is just the first iteration. So what is coming next? Well, in the next few weeks, we've got another couple of releases. The first one is going to be subfields within Pinpoint Works. So this is something that has been asked for by a lot of our clients over the last few years. And what this is going to allow you to do is to break down fields into subfields. Now, that could be an invoice example like we've got here. So potentially you've got multiple invoices against one point, or it could be any other numerical field, percentages, time, anything else that you want to keep a track of and have a breakdown of those individual items that then give you a running total. We've also got a new project transaction function, which is going to be added into Volley before the end of the year. And this is going to give you the ability to add any kind of bespoke transaction within the projects module that you want. So that could be work orders, it could be variation orders, it could be a different type of purchase order, anything at all that you want to track. You can create it in Volley, you can set the different transaction fields you want to have, and it can have its own bespoke approval workflow that sits separately to the operational workflow of your usual invoices and approvals that we have set up already. That will then mean that in the same way you can create invoices from your job list, you'll also be able to create your own bespoke transactions. So it could be work orders, VTCs, or anything else you've got on here. And that information will be pushed through into Pinpoint, and you'll be able to track all of these different transactions against each job throughout. You can then make use of some of the tools in Pinpoint, like the new formula custom fields, where you can essentially build your own Excel within Pinpoint Works, doing comparisons of costs or anything else that you might want to do. So all of this will be out before the end of this year. So it's a great time to get signed up and start to get used to the platform.
Thank you very much, Kirstie. What we might do, we've got a couple of questions. This will be recorded, so you will get a recording after this. We'll send it out to everybody who has joined. Also, don't expect that you need to learn everything from the start. We are here to help you with the training, help you with the setup. The account managers, the CRMs will be here to hold your hand all the way through the process. So this is new for everybody, and we just want to make it as seamless as possible with the education. And then after that, more and more uses for the projects module are going to come. We might go to Q&A, Kirstie, if you're
yeah, great.
able for a couple. We have one here. I do say that James Stockdale, the original founder of Pinpoint Works, is online, so he's very happy to see this development. Thank you very much, James. And we do have a question in terms of how will it work with multiple direct contractors as well as the shipyard?
Okay.
In terms of invoicing, I'm assuming.
Yeah, absolutely. So essentially within Volley, you can add invoices for as many different suppliers as you want. And all you need to do is tag it with the job number. So what that will then do is it will break down for you the information. In fact, if I just go back a stage in terms of the new piece that we're doing, you can see here what you will have is you'll have the breakdown of the cost that was allocated to that particular job, the invoice number. It will also have the supplier name and the description that was allocated to that line. So you'll be able to see whether it was a shipyard invoice or whether it was an individual contractor invoice that was allocated to that. But it will still give you a total against the job.
Okay, and then there is a quick question just regarding both subscriptions for Pinpoint and for Volley. So do you want to go through the pricing, Kirstie, or what we might do, which will be easier because the pricing will be bespoke? If you could drop a message in the chat, and then we can get back to you separately with all of the pricing. So that might be the most efficient way forward.
Absolutely, yeah. For our users that have both Volley and Pinpoint currently, we can get this set up really quickly for you. Obviously, you do need to have a subscription to both platforms for them to work together. But if you don't have one or the other, then we can arrange for a full demo of the platform that you don't have, and we can talk to you about how we get that set up.
Excellent. And then whilst a couple more questions come through, so feel free to ask a couple of questions. Please always send through your feedback. So both of the softwares have been built off the feedback of all of the clients. It's the most important part because we are all on the same journey together. So without your feedback, we're not going to be able to build a better system. And we're not doing this off the cuff, and Kirstie's not creating features that she thinks will work. We're creating them because the feedback has been so strong that this is what you need, and this is the journey that we're all on together.
Yeah, George has just asked, George Peacock, yes, this is definitely available now and ready to use. It's live. We've already got quite a lot of clients that are live and using it, that are in shipyards now. Also, if you've already set up your work list on Pinpoint Works and you think it's too late to do this, it's not. We can absolutely link it to work lists that are already active. If you've already got invoices on Volley, we can go back and we can recategorize those with the correct job numbers, and bring your projects up to speed, even if they have already started.
Perfect. And then just another question about management companies and managing multiple projects. So if you want, Kirstie, I will jump onto that one and
Yeah,
share
sure.
my screen. So when you're managing a fleet, we now have the fleet dashboard in Pinpoint Works. So actually, Kirstie, I'm going to have to...
Want me to jump online? Don't worry.
Yep, throwing it back to you. I am in my account.
That's all right. Perfect. Yeah, so we've got a lovely fleet on here. And if you are a management company or a technical team who's managing more than one asset, then you can actually go in and you can create your fleet in here too. So you can go in, you can create a fleet profile, you can add as many sites as you like to this fleet. And this is a really good way of being able to manage some of the key information. So you can set up dashboards that are bespoke to each individual boat that you've got set up here. You can link through your budgets, your costs. You can even do a cost comparison widget on here, which is actually one of the new dashlets that's particularly for the fleets here. And I think we mentioned the red flags early. You've got the ability to mark a point with a red flag. So again, if you're a technical team managing multiple assets, you know when immediately you need to go in and take a look at those red flag items that are high profile tickets that you need to look at, rather than having to go in and review every single point. So yeah, just a really nice way of being able to see that. And again, if you're managing multiple boats and you want to have a snapshot, then this is here for you as well.
Exactly. It's a great tool. Pulling through that information on the dashboard, you'll also be able to export to PDF shortly within the next iteration. So we're trying to make it as simple as possible for you to get the information from yacht crew, operational yacht crew, through to management, and then off to shipyards, managing projects, and then off to the owner at the end of it. So trying to make the system as seamless as possible, and so you don't need to go anywhere else, and you don't need to do any duplicate work like previously with some of the other systems.
Absolutely. We got somebody else asking here, can it be used outside of the shipyard periods? Absolutely. It works in exactly the same way. You can use it for any of your sites in Pinpoint Works. If you just want to track your costs against jobs for general operational use, then that can be used in exactly the same way.
Exactly. And then just to give you a quick look also at the new formula field. So Kirstie did touch on it, but it is a fantastic addition to what we have at the moment. So if you hover over one of our formula fields, you can build yourself a whole range of different formulas. As an example, this one that we're showing here is the contingency at 10% above budget, and that's making an automatic calculation. So that could be used for VAT, for your own budgets with shipyards. And then also we have the ability to, Kirstie, I've lost my chain of thought, for
that's all right,
for the different versions of the formulas. How many other formulas do we have?
Yeah, so at the moment, this is the first iteration of formulas, which has got sort of your basic times, multiply, divide, multiply, add. So you can do, variances. If you want to look at your budget versus cost, you could create a variance column and it will calculate it as those new cost fields come in. You could do a comparison across two shipyards. But the next iteration that we're going to do is actually going to also allow you to do if statements. So we're going to get really complex with the formulas and also start to look at nested formulas. So where you can do a formula on a formula output. So this is, again, just the start of this feature, and it's only going to get more complex as we develop it.
Exactly.
Got another
I do
question
have
here.
a.
If you go on, sorry, Stu.
Go for it, Kirstie.
No, I was going to say there's another question here saying if somebody would like if they want another demo of this with more detail, can they contact us? Yes, absolutely. Feel free to reach out to myself, Stuart, or your account manager, and we can get a demo set up, no problem at all.
Excellent. And then also just with the continued development, I think everybody will have seen that over the last 6 months on the Voly side and Pinpoint, there's been so many new features. It's a learning experience for everybody. The future is looking very bright for where we're going with both systems. As an example, recurring reminders is something that is on the roadmap for 2025. And that will give yachts in particular under 500 gross ton the chance to use recurring reminders similar to a planned maintenance system, however, not an accredited planned maintenance system. And then for new build projects, etc., that feature will be fantastic as well. So no pressure, Kirstie, but that is something when we're looking at the future that is going to be really relevant for management companies.
Absolutely, yeah, it's all on its way. I think that we're also working towards single sign-on as well. So for those users who are using multiple Voly platforms, whether that's the Voly APA charter management, the financials, Pinpoint Works, and soon to be cruise solutions, you'll be able to do all of that through one dashboard as well.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much, everybody. We won't take up any more of your valuable time. We also have Kirstie in an airport who's just about to take another flight. So hence we're moving along, but please reach out to either your account manager, CRM, Kirstie, myself, any of the team that you do know for any training, support, another demo. We're here to help, and please send through your interest. Excellent. Thank you very much,
Right.
Kirstie, for joining me.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Stu.
Everybody have a great day, and we hope we can all continue down the same path, working together. So thank you very much.